Hi, this is Michelle Shelley, lap band to VSG. This is my post-op week 1 video, and I'm doing well. I had my surgery on December the 16th, which was Tuesday before last, at Texoma Medical Center in Denison, Texas, under Ikram Qureshi, and he is very pleased with my progress. I had a post-op appointment today to see him, and he was amazed at how well I'm doing, and I'm amazed. Considering my health issues, I did not know how this recovery period would go, but I'm pleasantly surprised, and I have a great NSV to report in that my blood sugar has come down from the 450s into the 180s consistently, which is huge for me. My endocrinologist would like it to be closer to 100. However, he does understand that the elevation is caused by rheumatoid arthritis and the inflammation it causes in my body versus what I'm eating, because I'm still on a full liquid diet. I was on clear liquids after surgery, and the few days after surgery on last Friday, he advanced me to full liquids. And then today in his office, he told me he wanted to modify the full liquids to what he calls full liquid chunky, which is potato soup with chunks of potato in it, or he said like vegetable soup with chunks of vegetable, even some soups that have a little bit of meat in them, or pastas, or he said anything that was in a liquid base, to see how I do in transitioning to a soft diet. So he was rather pleased with the progress I've made in my diet without having any pain. I'm able to get in my liquid goal of 60 ounces a day. I've been doing that since last Thursday, and he told me that he was very pleased with that, because it's really hard for newly post-op patients to get in the liquids. But I have not been nauseated, but I have not been hungry either. I knew that getting in the liquids would be a challenge, so I have several different cups that have the graduated amounts on them, so I can easily keep track of the fluids. And I just keep a variety of things that I like to drink handy, and make sure that I'm sipping something all day. And it's not been that difficult for me. I've been having some abdominal pain where my stomach feels like it's about to cramp, and then it just cramps up real hard for a few minutes and then eases up. It's just, intermittent, nothing too severe. And my liquid pain medication has been taking care of that for me. I should run out of liquid pain medication this week. I don't feel like I need a renewal. In fact, today I didn't even use it. I used some liquid Tylenol that he had recommended. And then I take ibuprofen anyway for my rheumatoid arthritis, which he approved. I know some of you have been told not to take Tylenol, don't take ibuprofen, vice versa. But it's all up to your physician and what you've been used to taking. I've been taking doses of ibuprofen for 5 years for rheumatoid arthritis, so my stomach's used to it. He did prescribe for me a medication called Reglan for several weeks after surgery that I take twice a day, and that's just to keep the stomach calm and prevent some of the problems that patients tend to have post-operatively with the nausea, the reflux, and things like that. So I've not had any reflux whatsoever. He actually repaired a hiatal hernia when he was in there. He had a little bit of trouble getting the lap band out, not so much the band as the port, because it was sutured to a muscle wall, and I'm rather large around my middle, so he had quite a bit of fatty tissue to go through to pull that out. In fact, he ended up having to cut a 2-inch incision instead of an instrument site to go ahead and use that so he could manipulate his instruments and get in there to remove that port. My incision sites are healing well. I saw him again today, and he removed my surgical drain, which was in place for a week. And he just put a little dressing over that and told me to change it daily until Friday, at which time he felt that it would have closed on its own. Because I'm a diabetic, I'm having to really watch for infection, but I'm doing great. He glued the sites shut, and the glue is starting to peel around the edges and itch a little bit. But I'm refraining from scratching them, and the only regimen I have for wound care is to suds my belly up with some ivory soap and then rinse it off and pat dry. And then again, I'm changing that little dressing every day until Friday, or it stops leaking fluid. I'm going to stand up and show you my wounds. They're doing really great. At this point, if you don't want to see that, this would be the point to turn away or turn the video off. So here's my belly. I'm still swollen right across here. It feels swollen and tight to me, and he said that's quite normal. I have this is the 2-inch incision I have here where he pulled the port out. This is where the drain was, and it's just a small amount of bloody drainage on it. And there's an instrument site down here. This is on my left side. There's a curved instrument site inside my belly button right there. And there are 2 more instrument sites, one here and one here. I was really glad that he kept everything kind of below here. When I had my lap band, I had one as high as up here, and it was rather bothersome and nearly got infected because of my bra. Okay, let me sit back down. As far as what I've been drinking, I've used decaf iced tea, Gatorade, which is the G2 without all the sugar in it. I have been using different fruit drinks as long as they're not carbonated, and of course water. I've not had any problems getting fluid in since Thursday. And the only problem that I did have was I did not have my first bowel movement until 5 days post-op. And I had to take milk of magnesia to produce that bowel movement. Everything is slow to wake up after surgery. Your intestines kind of go to sleep, and it takes them a while to wake up. I really didn't have any severe gas pains like some people talk about. In fact, I was up walking the next day in the hospital. Actually, I was walking the night of surgery, and I was a late surgery. I didn't get to the room until 8:30 p.m., and I was up walking by, I think it was 10 or 11 o'clock that night. So I knew to do those things early to prevent complications. I did talk to him about the constipation today, and he told me that's quite normal for patients who are newly post-op because of the issue with the intestines going to sleep, and then they're sluggish to wake up. He told me that once I get to the point where I'm eating more solid foods, that I should regulate myself naturally, and if that doesn't happen to occur, then we'll address it at that time. He did have me on Miralax, a continuation of an order that I previously had, but I think I've been on it long enough, that over a year, that it's not as effective as it used to be. So he just told me to treat the constipation every few days with milk of magnesia as needed to make sure I get my water intake, and if it's still an issue once I'm like a month out, then we'll talk again. So I don't have to see him again until January the 12th unless there's complications, and I'm rather pleased with the progress. He's pleased, and I feel good. I walked my dog a block today. I was walking her a block previous to surgery, so here it is, just a week post-op, and I'm back to that activity. I do tend to get a little bit tired easily. The trip down to the doctor's office today was an hour one way, so I was pretty worn out when we got back home, and I took a little nap, but feel fine now, and looking forward tomorrow to Christmas Day. I'm going to have cornbread dressing soup. He approved that. He said just to mix a little bit of chopped turkey with it and thin it out with some broth and enjoy. So that's what I plan to do, and enjoy my family. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year. Good night.